Chelsea Football Club apparently are full of surprises. A major shareholder starting with a T and his surname starting with a B looks like he wants Thomas Tuchel back. Of course you want Thomas Tuchel back. Who wouldn't want Thomas Tuchel back after the last 18 months we have been through? We'll talk about that story. Then we need to talk about Mr. Matt Law. Matt Law has had a very good piece come out where he mentions two strikers that Chelsea are going to be rigorously pushing for. One costs 120 million and one costs 50, and they're going to make a selection between the two. Both release clauses, you can guess who. And finally, Nico Williams is on the tip of everyone's tongue apparently. Everybody in Europe, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea, Barcelona are all looking at him. 43 million release clause. Chelsea are fully actively looking. Matt Law gives us more details and we're going to talk about the ramifications of that. And that's all the news, unless you lot want to talk about the stadium, which I think you most probably will, because there was an article that came out today. I'm going to call it a little bit of scaremongering. However, there's some elements of truth, so we're going to debunk that as well. Let's get into it. I just came up with that one on the spot. I wasn't going to include it, but you guys deserve it. So hit the like button, because we need 1,000 likes on this video. It's the best way you can support the channel. If you're new, subscribe. You made it this far in 2024 to watch a minute worth of a video and not subscribe. Come on, I've kept you enough. And finally, in the comments below, Nico Williams, good enough for Chelsea or not good enough? I'll be honest, I don't know too much about him. I've only watched around about 2 or 3 games, so I am very keen to be reading your comments in the comments below, especially those of you that have watched him. Trust me, I know when you're lying to me. I know them ones when people giving me a couple of generic statements. Oh, he's quick. Oh, he's got pace. Oh, he's very strong. Oh, he's intelligent. I need examples. I need a little bit more detail. So get going. Come on, let's start though. I think we need to talk about Thomas Tuchel. Alright, it is evident that Chelsea are looking for a new manager. One too many sources have come out. Literally, it is lit on every single publication at this moment in time. Chelsea are going to be interviewing Amorim. Chelsea are looking at De Zerbi, Thomas Frank, a Flick. Now it's Thomas Tuchel's turn. And reports in Germany are coming out that Todd Boehly and Egbali decide to swallow their pride and decide that it is time to bring a certain gentleman back in Thomas Tuchel. Tuchel will be really up for it. And apparently Todd Boehly is very keen to explore that possibility. That's what Bild is saying. However, I am here to be the party pooper because I tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. But, well, some of you at least. Thomas Tuchel left on horrible. We know that. We don't know the details, but we know he left on terms that, let's just put it this way, they ain't gonna want to get him back. What do we know about billionaires? What do we know about people? People don't forget. People do not forget in general. So when I'm a billionaire, I'm definitely not forgetting if someone disrespected me. Well, there were multiple instances of allegedly Thomas Tuchel ignoring messages. Allegedly, there were some underhanded things that happened in the background that we don't know of, so we don't need to speculate. But what we do know is he was sacked after 5 or 6 games last year, and Chelsea haven't looked the same since. And what I also want to add is, I don't think Thomas Tuchel would be open to this move. Why would Thomas Tuchel be open to this move? Thomas Tuchel has had a bad stint at Bayern Munich. By Bayern Munich standards, they should be winning the league every year. They should be winning the Pokal every year. And they should be reaching at least the semi-finals of the Champions League every year. Well, at this moment in time, it looks like he could reach the semi-final, but he won't do the other two. So he's had a bad tenure. Yes, he's won Bundesliga, but everyone wins the Bundesliga. It's about doing it in style, and he didn't do it in style. So I don't think he'd want to risk his whole reputation to come back to Chelsea. And secondly, Boehly and Egbali aren't going to bring back somebody that just does not agree with them, or somebody that does not agree with the way they conducted business back then. So imagine what he's going to be like now. He's outspoken, he's volatile, and more importantly, if he doesn't like something, he lets it be known publicly. And I don't think Chelsea want that kind of manager. He is too strong. He is too much of a character. This is why when people say Antonio Conte, when everyone says Jose Mourinho, is not going to happen. Jose is not going to come back. Jose is bigger than every single board member, every single player. And when Jose will come out and say, I want to win, they've got kids. I want to be a horse, they want to give me ponies. He will literally call him out. And then the fans will go on the manager's side. They're not Pochettino. Poch is a club man. Poch is a professional. Like, in that aspect, Poch is a model professional. You have to credit him. He is so disciplined. Yes, he's come out with 1 or 2 comments where we need some more experience. But even then, Pochettino is always defending the players. So for me, I don't see this as being a star. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but it's the honest truth. Now we need to talk about Mr. Matthew Law. Mr. Matthew Law has come out with an article today, and the article is very interesting. Give it a read. So apparently, Chelsea Football Club at this moment in time are plotting to look into the acquisition of a certain individual named Nico Williams. The Spanish international, the right wing, left wing, versatile player, is linked to Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, take a guess, every club in the world. He's got a beautiful release clause of 43 million euros, or pounds, I think it is pounds. And Chelsea have been interested in him, and this is led by Joe Shields. Joe Shields has been saying that we need to get him. How do we know this? Because Fabrizio Romano reported this in November, and today retweeted it again since then. This was a tweet that basically stipulated that Chelsea have been interested in Olise, Palmer, and Nico Williams. Nico Williams is hot on the list. And if you look at the way Joe Shields does business, Joe Shields likes to go into the area of the 40 to 60 million pound mark, because that's where he believes there's most talent and most benefit to get. And so far, hits all round, man. If you look at it, Palmer's been a hit. I think Lavia is going to be a hit because he got in for Southampton. Lavia is going to come in and hit, and hopefully Nico Williams would come in and hit. However, we need to be realistic with this, because Nico Williams has so much competition around Europe from Chelsea that why would he pick Chelsea at this moment in time? We won't have European football as it stands. We aren't the same talent acquirers as we once were. And there is nothing pulling him here, because if he wants London, Arsenal will most probably get him. Like, if he wants hot weather, Madrid or Barcelona will look at him. Like, if he wants to remain in that league because his brother plays there, family's important. So he most probably want to be close to home. And the reality is, I just don't see this deal happening, because I don't think Chelsea have the pulling power at this moment in time, unless we pay crazy wages, but I don't see that happening either. So it will have to be Chelsea having a new manager that could persuade him to join. That's the only way I could see it. And what's interesting is, how are Chelsea going to do this deal, considering we have so many wingers already? Noni, Sterling, Nkunku, Palmer, and Mudryk. Where the hell does Williams fit? We will have to offload Mudryk, Noni, or Sterling, or even Nkunku at this moment in time. Because honestly, Nkunku hasn't played all year. So if a bid comes in for Nkunku for 50, 60 million, maybe Chelsea consider it. I wouldn't consider it. I think Chelsea would. Because these owners will say, this is a liability. This is a liability that at this moment in time is a sunk cost, because we can't use it. Like, he's basically on the books every year costing us money. We're getting no use out of him. And the only thing that happens is hospital bills. That's what Chelsea's owners most probably will think about it. But there is potential for Nkunku to pay us back, because he is a talented player. We know he's talented. It's a matter of getting him on the pitch. So let me know your thoughts. Do you think Nico Williams would even consider Chelsea at this moment in time? Matt Law also gave us a little indication regarding a strikers market of who Chelsea would look at. Like, we know we're not going after Gyökeres from Sporting Lisbon, because Gyökeres at this moment in time is just, I think, linked with Arsenal and linked with other clubs, and 85 million euros is just absolutely crazy sum of money for a player that, in my opinion, has only had 1 year at this moment in time at the top level. So it's just a risk. I'm not saying he's a bad player. Every time I've watched him actually in recent times, I've been very impressed. I've been tremendously impressed. More impressed than I thought. More than you believe. That's how impressed I've been. However, the players Matt Law mentioned, number one, Victor Osimhen, and I've spoken about him more than enough times. You guys already know my perception of the player. Very talented, but incredibly overpriced. Like, incredibly overpriced to the point where I think no matter how many goals he scores, unless he's Erling Haaland, you won't even say it's worth the money. That's how crazy that fee is. But the other player we're linked with is the Leipzig player, Benjamin Sesko. And what I think is interesting about this move is the player would cost 50 million euros, because there's once again release clause. And I think this is the way football is going to be going these days, by the way. Release clauses are going to become a regular thing in players' contracts, because players are going to understand that the only way they get to leave one place is if there's a release clause, or clubs are just going to ask for stupid money, like absolutely stupid money. But, and what I think here is interesting is this what we need? Do we need another prospect? Do we need another player that's on the verge of coming up rather than somebody that is ready to come and finish? I saw Sesko a few times. I'm going to not lie to you. I don't think he can finish well. He reminds me an awful lot of Kai Havertz in the sense of his finishing. Great movement, great frame, strong, ability to create chances for himself by his movement, receives the ball well, technically gifted, can't finish. Like, unless that develops, maybe I need to watch him a little bit better. I think he's got so much talent. And you lot know me. I like Kai Havertz. I really do. I think he's a great player. I would have kept him last year. I said this. There are videos, so there's no need for me to lie. I would have kept him at Chelsea last year. I think under Pochettino's system, he would have been playing in that number 10 role and he would have been absolutely amazing. I really do think that. I think his link-up play would have been good. He could have played number 9. You could have had Jackson off the left. You could have a Palmer. You could have had him. I just think he would have been really good for us this year. But he decided to move on, and it looks like at this moment in time, he made the right decision for himself. Ignore Chelsea's situation because that's what's important for him. He doesn't care about Chelsea. He's not a Chelsea fan. I always say this about us. So Sesko's an interesting one. Do we want to bring another player in where we just need to be absolutely patient? Like we need to wait, and we need to be patient. I don't know. You lot need to let me know on that one because I think it's imperative that Chelsea's next number 9 acquisition is going to be the correct one. Finally, regarding the Sun. So the Sun have reported regarding the stadium and that Chelsea owners are getting frustrated. Chelsea's owners are getting super frustrated regarding the new developments of how this stadium is going to get built. Chelsea have got 2 solutions according to the Sun. Number 1, buy out everyone and proceed with a rebuild that could take up to 6 years. I think that is a huge exaggeration. That's my personal opinion. Or leave Stamford Bridge, but they can't because of the CPO. And it's going to be very difficult to buy out the CPO because it's individual shares that they have to acquire. For me, this situation is messy and it's wasting time. And I heard Eunice say this actually today on All You Can Eat Chelsea. And it was actually a really interesting point. I think the owners underestimated, well, he said he thinks the owners are underestimated the actual challenge at hand of rebuilding Stamford Bridge. And that is an excellent point because I think they came in with so much vim, they came in with so much energy. And you need to remember, right, the area that in London where this is located is absolutely beautiful. Like for those of you that haven't been in London and don't know where Stamford Bridge is located, Stamford Bridge is located in an area that is very affluent. The people that live, have own houses there, the houses cost 2 million. 3 million pounds. Like it's absolutely ridiculous how expensive the land is because you're so close to central London, you're so close to Sloane Square, you're so close to Marble Arch, you're so close to actually being in the center of London where the shops are. So for tourism aspects, this part of London's popping. To own real estate as big as a stadium, for the owners, they were mouth-watering. They were even thinking, hold on, we can move Chelsea from here to here and probably build some flats and sell them. Oh my God, you can imagine their accountants were getting absolutely excited, if you know what I mean. But the issue here arises is the CPO won't let them do this. The CPO will want Chelsea to stay where they are. The problem is, it's very difficult to rebuild the stadium to be exactly what Chelsea need, a 60,000 capacity stadium at this moment in time. So I don't know what's going to happen. Like this is one of the biggest problems Chelsea are facing at this moment in time. And it's one that I think either the CPO need to cave or the owners need to find a solution to make them agree with them, because at this moment in time we're just wasting time. Spurs are making more money because of the stadium, Arsenal are making more money because of their stadium, Liverpool are going to make, Everton are going to have a better stadium, Newcastle already have a better stadium, you got Man United and Man City who have got better stadiums than us. It is ridiculous that we can't generate the revenue from match day tickets and we're losing money, and in the long run we're going to have to sell players to balance books rather than generate additional income from our stadium, whether it's in concert sales, whether it's in holding events there, or whether it's just getting more people into the ground through corporate seats or general admin seats. This whole situation is a mess. And this situation epitomizes the mess that we've got ourselves into with this ownership group. It's horrible, but at the end of the day, there's always a light at the end of this tunnel. So we need to be optimistic that they're going to find a solution and we'll be fine. hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I hope you lot enjoyed it. Here's a video for you guys, by the way, if you guys want to know the difference between Ruben Amorim and De Zerbi, the pros and cons. And here's a reason to why Jose Mourinho, in my opinion, is not the right manager. 5 reasons why I would not get him. Enjoy one of the videos. Hope you watch it. Peace out. I'm out. Make sure you Kavkas View and chill.